What if the chaos around you was secretly shaping the strongest will inside you? The old world is dead, and the grand myths that once guided our ancestors have crumbled into nothing but cold, gray ash beneath our feet today. You are standing at the edge of a vast abyss of meaninglessness, where the stories that once held our civilization together have simply vanished into thin air. In this modern landscape, we find ourselves more connected than ever, yet profoundly lost, wandering through a digital maze without any true compass or clear direction. The question is no longer why this chaos is happening to you, but rather what you will choose to do when there is nothing left to hold. We live in an age where the traditional structures have failed, leaving the individual to face the terrifying weight of existence without any external divine support. Life is suffering, and the most important task you have is to find a mode of being that justifies that suffering through the pursuit of truth. You must realize that you are not merely a victim of circumstances, but a potential force of nature capable of bringing order to the surrounding chaos. The burden of responsibility is heavy, yet it is the only thing that can give your life the substance it needs to withstand the coming storms. Listen closely to the echoes of the past, for they contain the wisdom required to navigate the treacherous waters of a world that has forgotten itself. If you do not find a way to stand up straight, the world will surely crush you under the weight of its own indifference and nihilistic despair. Everything you thought was stable can shatter in an instant, leaving you to pick up the pieces of a life that no longer makes any sense. These fragments of your old reality are painful to touch, yet they are the only materials you have left to forge something new and much stronger. Look into the mirror of your own destruction and see the potential for a transformation that could only occur through the fire of complete and total loss. When societies lose their way, the individual becomes the last line of defense against the total collapse of order into the dark pit of tyrannical madness. Time is running out for you to decide who you are going to be before the next wave of chaos sweeps away what little remains today. You sit in the center of your own failure, surrounded by the physical evidence of your inability to manage even the simplest aspects of your existence. This room is a manifestation of your internal state, a chaotic landscape that reflects the confusion and the stagnation that has taken root within your heart. The weight of your past mistakes is pressing down on you, making it feel almost impossible to breathe or to see a way out of this. If you do not confront the chaos in your own home, how can you ever expect to face the much larger monsters waiting for you outside? It is time to stop lying to yourself about the state of your life and finally admit that you are the one responsible for this mess. Clean your room. It sounds like a joke, but it is the first step toward reclaiming your sovereignty from the grip of a life without meaning. Your hands may shake and your heart may ache, but the simple act of putting one thing in its proper place is a victory against entropy. By bringing order to your immediate environment, you are signaling to your subconscious that you are no longer willing to live as a helpless victim. Order is built one small step at a time through the consistent application of will against the natural tendency of the world to fall apart completely. Every small task you complete is a brick in the foundation of the person you are desperately trying to become in the face of this adversity. Do not underestimate the power of incremental progress, for it is the only way to climb out of the deep pit you have dug for yourself. The room is now a sanctuary, a small outpost of order that you have carved out of the wilderness of your own neglect and your own failure. You have proven to yourself that you can change the world, even if that world is currently only 4 walls and a ceiling above your head. Failure is the most honest teacher you will ever have, as it strips away your illusions and forces you to see reality as it truly is. The pain of falling is a necessary consequence of trying to reach for something higher than your current reach can possibly allow you to grasp today. Do not hide from your suffering, but rather embrace it as the fuel that will drive you to overcome the limitations of your previous self-image. The person who stands up after a fall is not the same person who went down. They are now forged by the struggle and the grit. Life will hit you harder than any opponent ever could, and it is your job to take the blow and keep moving forward regardless of pain. Accept the burden of your existence and refuse to let the darkness of failure extinguish the light of your internal will to prevail and succeed. Why must you learn to write? Because writing is the most sophisticated form of thinking that human beings have ever developed in their entire history. When you write, you are organizing your mind, taking the chaotic mess of your thoughts and sharpening them into a coherent and lethal force of nature. Your ability to articulate your ideas is the ultimate weapon in a world that is increasingly confused by lies, half-truths, and total intellectual stagnation. If you can think clearly and speak persuasively, you become an unstoppable force that can navigate any hierarchy and overcome any social or personal obstacle. Do not just record your feelings. Use the page to battle your own ignorance and to find the truth that lies hidden beneath the surface noise. Every sentence you craft is a strike against the confusion that threatens to overwhelm your sanity and your ability to act effectively in this world. To write is to engage in a dialogue with the greatest minds of the past, borrowing their strength to fortify your own internal world against chaos. Through the discipline of the pen, you are transforming yourself from a passive observer of your life into the conscious architect of your own destiny. The process of sharpening your mind is exactly like the process of forging a blade. It requires intense heat, heavy pressure, and relentless repetitive effort. You are the hammer, you are the anvil, and you are the blade being shaped by the fires of your own intellectual and spiritual discipline today. The tempering of your character is a painful but necessary ordeal if you ever hope to be sharp enough to cut through the lies of life. Think of your mind as a high-precision instrument of defense, a weapon that must be maintained with the utmost care and respect for its power. Your words are the bullets, and your logic is the guidance system that ensures they strike the heart of the problems you face every single day. To be harmless is not a virtue. To be dangerous but disciplined is the highest form of moral existence a human being can possibly achieve. The tools may change through the centuries, but the fundamental requirement for a sharp and disciplined spirit remains exactly the same as it always was. You must work on yourself until you are a finished product, a weapon of truth ready to be deployed in the service of what is right. When I tell you to learn to think, I am telling you to become dangerous so that you no longer have to fear the world around you. A person who can speak and write effectively is a person who can negotiate their way through life without having to resort to mindless primal violence. The ability to formulate a clear argument is the ability to defend your soul against the encroachments of ideology and the madness of the collective crowd. Look to those who stood their ground in the face of death and tyranny, for their words are the legacy that will guide your own internal revolution. Your mind is the most powerful technology ever created. Do not let it rust through neglect or be filled with the garbage of modern mindless entertainment. Every great thinker was once a student who decided that the pursuit of truth was more important than the temporary comfort of a convenient and easy lie. Pick up your pen, open your mind, and prepare to do battle for the future of your own character and the world you inhabit today. Khi luat bat đầu tu giây phút bằng thức dậy, khi cuộc chiến giữa con người bạn muốn trở thành và con người lười biếng của bạn thực sự nổ ra. Discipline is not a chain that binds you. It is the skeletal structure that allows your spirit to stand upright and move with purpose through life. When you choose the difficult path over the easy one, you are slowly killing the part of yourself that is weak and prone to cowardly retreat. Every repetition, every drop of sweat, and every moment of physical discomfort is a sacrifice you are making to ensure a more capable and resilient future. The cold of the morning and the ache in your limbs are the prices you must pay to redeem your soul from the debt of past laziness. You must treat yourself as if you are someone you are responsible for helping, showing yourself the same tough love you would give a brother. Discipline is the bridge between your current miserable state and the potential glory of the person you were always meant to become in this world. You have won the first battle of the day, and now you are ready to face the world with the quiet confidence of a man in control. Success is not a sudden explosion of luck. It is the result of thousands of tiny, precise actions repeated with mechanical consistency over many long years. The artist does not become a master through inspiration alone, but through the grueling discipline of lap-de-lap-lie, until the difficult becomes second nature. There is a profound beauty in the pursuit of perfection, a sacred quality in the willingness to devote your entire being to a single worthy goal. When your life is organized around a core set of values, you move through the chaos of the world with the terrifying efficiency of a locomotive. Do not leave your life to chance. Be the architect who draws the plans and the builder who lays every stone with total and complete intentionality. In the highest levels of human achievement, there is no room for sloppiness or for the indulgence of personal whims and fleeting, meaningless emotional states. Your discipline must be the lighthouse that remains standing and functional, even when the rest of the world has been swallowed by the dark storm. To be a complete human being, you must integrate your shadow, the part of you that is capable of darkness, aggression, and great destructive power. If you do not acknowledge the monster within, you will never be able to control it, and it will eventually consume you from the inside out. Integrating the shadow means taking that primal energy and turning it into a source of strength, determination, and the capacity to say no to evil. You must be a person who is capable of anything, but chooses to do what is right, for that is the only true definition of a virtuous man. The wolf does not apologize for its nature, nor should you apologize for the raw, masculine strength that lies dormant within your very soul today. There is a wildness in you that the modern world wants to tame and domesticate, but that wildness is the source of your most potent creative power. You must learn to walk with the grace of a predator and the heart of a protector, moving through the world with a silent and focused intensity. The civilized man is not one who has lost his animal nature, but one who has mastered it and put it into the service of his highest ideals. When you carry yourself with the authority of a man who knows his own power, the world naturally makes way for your vision and your goals. Power is not about dominating others. It is about having the internal strength to remain unmoved by the petty manipulations and the weaknesses of the fearful. A true man is a pillar of fire in the darkness, a source of heat and light for those who are lost, and a warning to those who would bring harm. Never forget the beast that lives within you, for it is the foundation upon which the entire structure of your sophisticated civilization is actually built. The ancient archetype of the warrior scholar is the ideal you should strive for, a man who is as comfortable in a library as on a battlefield. Preparation is a form of worship, a way of showing respect for the gravity of the challenges you will inevitably face in your journey through life. Your battlefield may be a boardroom or a courtroom, but the need for tactical brilliance and unwavering courage remains exactly the same as in the past. Truth is the ultimate shield and the ultimate sword. If you stand with the truth, you have an advantage that no amount of deception can ever overcome. Every scar on your spirit is a testament to a battle you survived, a lesson learned in the hard school of reality and the struggle for existence. You are part of a long lineage of men who have stood against the chaos, building the walls that keep the darkness at bay for everyone else. The highest responsibility of a man is to be a model of competence and strength for those who will follow in his footsteps into the future. A virtuous man is not one who is incapable of violence, but one who has a sword and chooses to keep it firmly in its sheath. The threat of your power is what makes your peace meaningful. Without the capacity for destruction, your kindness is merely a form of helpless, cowardly weakness. You must be dangerous enough to be respected, but controlled enough to be trusted by those who depend on your strength for their own safety. True gentleness can only be expressed by those who have the strength to be cruel, but have the moral character to choose the path of love. Your potential for greatness is directly tied to your potential for mayhem. Learn to master the beast so you can lead the man to victory. The world does not need more nice men who are afraid of their own shadows. It needs monsters who have integrated their darkness and chosen light. You have built the weapon, you have trained the body, and now you must decide what cause is worthy of the life you have forged today. Stand up straight with your shoulders back, for you have earned the right to look the world in the eye without a hint of shame or fear. You are no longer the broken man sitting in a dark room. You are the master of your own soul and the captain of your fate. The chaos that once threatened to drown you has become the very foundation upon which you have built a life of meaning and profound personal responsibility. Every struggle you endured was a necessary chapter in the symphony of your existence, adding depth and resonance to the person you are today. There is no limit to what a human being can achieve when they stop making excuses and start taking responsibility for every single aspect of their life. Your personal transformation ripples outward, affecting your family, your community, and the very fabric of the civilization that you are helping to rebuild and sustain. You have survived the abyss, and you have returned with a fire that no storm can ever extinguish, a light that will guide others through their darkness. Your failures were not endings, but the raw materials for a masterpiece that could only be created through the careful reconstruction of your own broken spirit. Out of the ashes of your old self, something immortal has been born, a character that is tempered by fire and strengthened by the weight of its own burden. This is the architecture of the soul, a fortress built on the bedrock of truth and the unwavering pursuit of what is meaningful over what is expedient. You are the conductor of your own symphony, and though the movements may be chaotic, the final resolution is one of breathtaking beauty and total victory. Do not pray for an easy life. Pray for the strength to endure a difficult one and the wisdom to use that strength for the good. The road ahead is long and the challenges are many, but you are now equipped with the only weapon that truly matters, the iron will to succeed. Responsibility is the antidote to chaos, and you are the only one who can administer that cure to the world through your own righteous